On the campus of Lake Forest High School. Star Channel Sports presents Illinois High School football. This afternoon it's homecoming in Lake Forest, and the Scouts will host their North Suburban Conference neighbor, the North Chicago Warhawks. Hi again, everyone. Dan Capasso, joined today by the New Sun's Darren Day for a perfect afternoon of football. The Warhawks coming in 3-1 overall, and the Lake Forest Scouts 1-3. The Warhawks probably one of the more surprising teams anywhere, Darren, but Michael Durr, their head coach, is not surprised. They've worked hard.
No, they have. I talked to him a couple of weeks ago, and he says they've really worked hard in the off-season, in the summer, in the passing leagues, in the weight room, getting together. These seniors have been together for 4 years now. They've had success on the lower levels, and they wanted to go out strong with a strong season senior year, and they're doing it right now. They're playing good football.
North Chicago coming off a big win over Mundelein. Last Friday night, they spoiled Mundelein's homecoming. 26-22 was that final. Wilton Hill hooked up with Tremaine Nixon in the last minute of that ball game for a long touchdown pass, and the Mustangs went home unhappily from their homecoming game. And that brings the Warhawks riding high here into Lake Forest. The Scouts have been in every game they played. They won their first ball game against Geneva, and then they've fallen to highly touted Oaklawn Richards, Zion Benton, and Stevenson in that order. So Tom Myers says they have to get at it today, and he's looking for good things on this homecoming afternoon in Lake Forest. It is the Warhawks to boot, and it's Towson going to chase it down at his own 5-yard line. Junior Chris Towson.
Not much blocking help there, but he's broke a couple tackles, gets the ball out, gives him decent field position to start about the 28-yard line.
Danny Picaro will lead the Scouts into action. Towson will be at the right halfback, Burke at the other. The fullback is Matt Kutu. Steve Rabarchek over center. Croc, Carter, Ross, and Sevcik rounding out that offensive line for the Lake Forest Scouts, who will run that option. Always difficult to pick out who has the ball in that master of deception offense, and Picaro does it well.
It's going to be a tough assignment for the Warhawks, especially middle linebacker Demetrius Terrell, number 42.
On first down, Picaro to throw. Towson on the flat, has it at the 20. Eludes Hill and takes it across the 35 to the 37-yard line.
Nice little flare pass out in the flat there. Warhawks had good pursuit on the quarterback, but nobody was there to pick up the running back. A nice gain for a first down for Lake Forest.
11-yard pass play.
For a first down, mark it 1st and 10 from the Scout 39-yard line.
See the replay there? Nobody out covering the running back in the flat. Finally gets some pursuit and makes one tackler miss for a nice gain.
David Trey split wide to the left on first down. Now we've got a belated flag.
Looks like the fullback jumped there a little bit too soon, had the wrong snap count there. That's going to bring him back 5 yards.
Matt Kutu smacking himself in the helmet, says, my bad. And they'll walk it off. Our referee today is Bob Brown out of Highland Park. Joe Henry from Chicago is the linesman. The umpire is Paul Bott of Arlington Heights. Joe Pomponi from Northbrook is the line judge, and the back judge is Frank Rezek of Mundelein.
Penalty marks it 1st and 15.
1st and 15, Trace to the near side. Towson. Gain of about a yard.
Theodis Holmes made a nice tackle there coming out for one of his linebacker positions. Stuffed the run there. Only got about a yard.
North Chicago defensively. Up front it's Mackins, McCarthy, the aforementioned Holmes, Eric Gross. The backers Terrell, Wilton Hill going both ways. He's also the quarterback. Marcus Jeffries and Stenell Jackson. Edmonds, Nixon, and Young rounding out that North Chicago secondary. On 2nd and 14, Picaro sets him down. Just a minute and a half gone in the ball game. No score thus far. Here's Towson, met square up by number 2, Chris Waldhaus.
Good penetration by the Warhawks defensive line there. When you play Lake Forest, you have to put 8 men in the box, try to control the run, and see if make the Scouts pass. That's something they don't like to do. Lake Forest is going to have to do a better job of blocking there.
Steve Powell in at the left half. Towson at the right. Kutu remains in at fullback. Trace coming to the near side. On third down, here's the pitch. Towson going nowhere. Great pursuit by the Warhawks.
Number 9, Michael Kemp, looks like was the first man there, but he also had help from 11, Theodis Holmes again.
And number 42, Demetrius Terrell.
Maybe gained a yard on the play, but it's going to bring up 4th and long, and Scouts are going to have to punt the football away.
From the Scouts' 35-yard line.
So Lake Forest gets one first down out of the drive and no more. The Warhawks' strength.
Set the punt
Weight
for the
room work
Scouts.
evident.
Number 15, Tony Miller. Set deep for the Warhawks. Number 7, Chauncey Edmonds.
Chauncey Edmonds. Deep for North Chicago. And he'll get away from this punt, taking a nice Lake Forest bounce to the 20-yard line.
It almost hit number 9, Michael Kemp for North Chicago. That would have been disastrous for the Warhawks because that would have been a live ball. But Kemp got out of the way. We do have a flag on the field. And they're going to call a motion penalty on the Scouts. We'll see if North Chicago makes them kick the football again.
Michael Dura pacing the sidelines. Pleased with his team's first defensive showing.
Nope, they're going to decline the penalty. The Warhawks want the football. They want to get on offense right away in the 20-yard line. They're not going to take any chances on a punt return, and they're going to get the offense going.
Offensively, Wilton Hill at quarterback. He's a lefty. Michael Turner can tear it up, number 8. Great foot speed, great running back. Michael Kemp, number 9, stepping in at the other running back. The wide receiver is 20, J.R. Smith. Sean and Chauncey Edmonds at the ends. Sean, number 6, Chauncey, number 7. The tackles, Bridges and Ingram. The guards, Mackins and Miller. And the center is Gerald Ganwicha.
We still got a discussion on the field. I don't know if maybe that was a little too premature that North Chicago did want to accept the penalty. I see Coach Dura on the sidelines there. I can't see if he's sending his offense out there or not. It looks like they are. A little bit of confusion. That was a pretty good punt. I think I might want to make him kick it over again and see if he can get a little bit of better field position. But Coach Dura's pretty confident in the Warhawks offense, and they're a dangerous team, Dan. They can score from any point on the field, as I think Mundelein could attest to, and a couple other teams the Warhawks have beaten this season.
Michael Turner, one of the main cogs. Sean Edmonds split to the near side, Chauncey to the right. Here's some misdirection. And some running room. Look like Michael Kemp for first down yardage.
Little misdirection play there, gained of some big yards, about 18 yards.
Trace belted him out of bounds, but great execution in the Warhawk backfield. Watch it again.
Fake to the fullback, coming in across. Number 9, Michael Kemp gets the handoff. A lot of running room. Some of that powerful running style that the Warhawks possess, and we're able to get to the outside for a big gain, 18 yards.
Wilton Hill to roll. And delivers and has his man. Complete on the near side to Sean Edmonds.
Wilton Hill using that left-handed throwing to roll out to his left, find an open receiver on a little down and out. And it looks like it's going to be close to another first down. Yes, it is a first down for the Warhawks again.
Ivan Thomas defending. Let's take a look at Lake Forest defensively. Daniels, Brandt, Kutrakan, Clegg up front. Kaufman, Levy, Scroggins the backers. Thomas, Miller, Trace, and Cho in the secondary. First down Warhawks. Wilton Hill for first down yardage all the way to the 35-yard line.
Some of the explosiveness of the Warhawks, they've got a lot of weapons there. He can throw the ball, he can hand it off to his big backs. There he takes it himself for a nice game all the way down to the Lake Forest 36-yard line. And they've picked up those chunks of yards in a hurry, Dan.
Run good for a first down, mark it first and 10.
Here's the replay. Hill fakes to the fullback, fakes to Turner, cuts it upfield, and once he gets in the secondary like that, he's a big quarterback. He's tough to bring down.
From the 36 on first down. Our first look at Turner. Look at him work for 4 yards.
Besides being a a fast football player. Michael Turner's also strong. He spent a lot of time in the weight room, worked on his upper body, worked on his legs, and he's tough to bring down on the first tackle.
Edward Brandt on the stop. 5-yard gain, 2nd and 5.
Gain of 3, mark it 2nd and 7.
About halfway through the first quarter here at Lake Forest High School, the Scouts homecoming. No score thus far. North Chicago on the march. Wilton Hill off the rollout. Flips it to the flat and can't connect with J.R. Smith.
Nice pop there by number 20, James Kaufman for Lake Forest, but almost a little too late there, Dan. You might could have seen the flag there, but receiver number 20, J.R. Smith, was wide open, just couldn't hook up. Good pass blocking by North Chicago. Hill rolls out, tries to flip it to 20 and just can't connect. And there you see that hit. I've seen a flag called on that before.
Official right there says incomplete. And no more.
Big 3rd down play for the Warhawks, 3rd and about 7. They got 3 wide receivers out to the left.
Tremaine Nixon off to the right. Hill rolling left, in trouble early. He's going to eat this football. Flung to the ground by 56, Brady Clegg.
Nobody touched Brady Clegg. A nice blitz from a linebacker spot. Nobody in the backfield. They're all lined up on the outside to pass. Nobody in the backfield to pick him up, and he went in untouched. All the way back to the 42-yard line. It's going to be a loss of 9.
Set up a 4th and about 20. And it looks as though the Warhawks are going to punt. Theodis Holmes does the punting for these Warhawks. Trace Deep along with Tony Miller. And it's going to be Trace from the 5. David Trace across the 20 to the 25, and the Scouts will go back to work. No score early, Darren.
Normally you don't like your punt returner catching the ball inside the 10-yard line, but Trace was able to make something happen to bring it out. Normally you like that, watch that ball bounce into the end zone once you're inside the 10, but he took a gamble and it paid off.
Fine special teams play by the Warhawks. The right tight end is Matt Palowitz as they come out on 1st down. David Trace split to the left. Towson, Kutu, Burke in Dan Piccaro's backfield. First man through is Kutu for a 5-yard gain.
It's the best offensive play from scrimmage for the Scouts in the first quarter. They couldn't get much going on their first drive. Brings up a 2nd and short, 2nd and 4. Like to see that fullback get those big yardages on 1st down.
Antoine Mackin's the first man there. From the 30-yard line, 5 yards to go for a 1st down on 2nd down. Fullback again.
This time the Warhawks are ready for it. Looks like number 40 made the play there. Nope, I take that back. That was Demetrius Terrell, 42, middle linebacker stepping up. That's what you got to do in that option if you're a middle linebacker. It's a tough day. It's a tough assignment for a middle linebacker because you got to read who has the football. And that's tough to do with the way the Scouts run their wishbone attack.
3rd down 5, big play for the Scouts. Ball's on the carpet, and the Warhawks appear to have it. They do.
Another fine play, 42, Demetrius Terrell, 6'2", 200-pound junior, makes the hit, coughs up the football, and falls on it. He was in the backfield before the quarterback was able to hand off the ball to this guy.
It looked like the pitch or the... Well, let's just watch it again. It looked like he was going to pitch it.
45, making the hit up. Eric Gross making that first hit.
Actually, it looked like Burke was intended to be the recipient of that handoff. Never happened. Wilton Hill, 1st down, Turner. Look at Turner, zigzag through the line. Michael Turner, touchdown, North Chicago.
That's the explosiveness of Michael Turner. Anytime he touches the football, any part of on the field, he's a threat to score. And from the 30-yard line, he broke a couple tackles, and once he's in the secondary, he's gone.
Well, he picked up where he left off last week. He tore it up against Mundelein.
Had a couple of long runs of 82 and I think 70-something yards. He did that against Carmel in the first week of the season. He had to sit out the second week of the season because of an ankle injury. But he's an explosive runner.
Kemp for the extra point. And he punches it through. And with 5:11 left here, first quarter, the visitors from North Chicago go up 7-zip, or do they? Flags on the field.
I think they have a roughing the kicker penalty. The one official called it on the side. They did run into Kemp when he kicked the extra point. I think they might assess that on the kickoff, unless North Chicago wants to take half the distance to try to run it in. It is roughing the kicker. They're going to decline it. Extra point's good.
Yeah, I guess you don't want to take that point off the board once you put it up there. Watch it again.
Chicago's kick is good with 5:11 left in the first.
Came in there, got his legs. I can't see the number of the player for Lake Forest, but somebody touched him.
Yeah, you want to protect those kickers because plays like that, you can injure a knee or worse. Kemp's okay. Back to football.
Not the start that Lake Forest wanted. I know they've had a couple of moral victories this season, Dan, with close games with Stevenson and Richards, but Tommy Meyer doesn't like moral victories. He wants the normal W's on the scoreboard, and that's not a good start for the Scouts.
So it'll be Trace dropping deep for Lake Forest. Chris Towson will join him, along with Ivan Thomas.
For the Warhawks, number 9, Michael Kemp.
Kemp.
Back deep for the Scouts, number
So booted away for the Warhawks. Looking to go 4-1.
14, Chris Towson.
Best start for North Chicago for a long time, probably since that Johnny Johnson season.
Yeah, we researched that. It's back in the 1990 season when Johnny Johnson led them to a North Suburban Conference championship that year.
David Trace waiting for his blocker, stepping through the defense, taking it out to the 35-yard line. A patient piece of running by David Trace.
Trace on the return for the Scouts, tackled by number 76, Ricky Carley.
I think winning breeds confidence, Dan, and these Warhawks are confident that they can win every time they step on the football field. And I think in the past years, I don't think you could say that was the case with North Chicago.
Ricky Carley, good special teams play, coming down to make the stop. Officials timeout, equipment adjustment, and the Warhawks dig in. Well, we know the Scouts have the same breakaway capability. We saw Towson against Zion Benton. He's got the good foot speed. And it's the keeper, Picaro, for 5 yards.
You locked him with a locker?
I don't know if that was a design play or maybe it was a busted play, it looked like, but all of his running backs went right, and he decided to go left, and that worked out for him. We got about 5 yards on first down.
Fooled the Hawks.
Put your stuff home then.
Second down, 5. Trace the near side split.
From the Scouts' 40-yard line.
Come back this way.
Kutu for a gain of 2. Stacked up there. 42, Demetrius Terrell, among others.
For the Scouts, tackled by number 42.
North Chicago's been a pretty good defensive team against the run. I saw them earlier in the year against Antioch, and they lost that football game, but it wasn't because of their run defense. It's because of Don Lackey and Eric Wright and Michael Richardson and that great Antioch passing attack that did the Warhawks in that day.
Well, I think Tom Myers would be the first to admit that his passing game is not his strength. He'd like to get things loosened up on the ground here quickly. Third down, 4. Picaro to pass. He has a man wide open.
He's not going to get it off, though, Dan.
Oh, the tight end was away from everyone by 15 yards. Matt Polowitz.
Theodis Holmes, once again in the backfield, makes the sack. Brings the ball back all the way to the 33-yard line, and once again, the Scouts are going to have to punt.
Ross marked it 4th and 13 from the Scout 33-yard
4th and 13. Chauncey Edmonds to drop deep. 3:20 left here, first quarter. North Chicago on the board, courtesy of a 30-yard touchdown sprint by Michael Turner. Kemp added the extra point.
15, Tony Miller.
7-0.
Deep to the Warhawks, number 6.
Tony Miller to unload now. Got off another good punt. Edmonds will take a look and watch it bounce out of bounds at the 35. Polowitz hustling down on the coverage for Lake Forest.
Miller's punt rolls out of bounds.
Once again, you got to give credit to that Warhawks defense. They're not allowing the big gain on the ground to the Scouts. They got some talented kids on defense as well. Some good speed, good pursuit, and it's tough to run the football against them.
Wilton Hill's a senior. Great leadership qualities. Michael Turner also, according to Coach Dura, real solid citizen team leader. Turner off a busted play. Lowers the boom at midfield.
Michael Turner, I don't think has been brought down in this game yet. They either stop him by forward progress or he runs out of bounds after taking a couple of scouts with him. Lowers that shoulder. He's a powerful kid.
Tony Miller took the brunt of that hit.
You can see Turner turning the field. What we didn't see was in the backfield, him breaking a couple of tackles to get to the outside. It's another first down for North Chicago at the 49-yard line to pick up a 14 yards for Turner.
Tremaine Nixon off wide right on first down. Here is Kemp. Not this time. You remember that play worked the first play of the ball game, but Philip Kutrakan was not fooled in this instance.
By number 70.
That's what the scouts have got to do. Get that that penetration on the line. Try to make something happen with some big plays. Good defensive stop there. Makes it a second and about 17 yards.
Loss of 7, marking second and 17.
7-yard loss. Backs him up to the 41. Sean Edmonds to the near side. Wilton Hill to throw. Oh, he can't connect with Sean Edmonds, who had it at the 25 and couldn't hang on.
Edmonds had his man beat. Just couldn't. Lake Forest was able to get back and try to put a hand in his face, and it just bothered Edmonds enough where he dropped the football.
Miller and Trace defending, but they gave him a good cushion.
You can see the long pass. Hill's got a strong arm. Ball's right there. That one should have been caught there.
Tony Miller got the hand up. May have distracted Edmonds, but a catchable football nonetheless.
Saw some of the talent there. Wilton Hill, the senior quarterback. He can run with the football. He's got a strong arm. Makes some good decisions out there in that North Chicago offense.
3 receivers to the left. Hill rolls right.
He's got a man open again.
Putting it up there for Tremaine Nixon's got him. To the 16-yard line.
Hill's pass complete to number 20.
Once again, showing off the arm. This time, Hill's rolling out to his right. Throwing off his back foot. Still flings it down there. Nixon got behind a couple of Lake Forest defenders again.
That was impressive. The plant, the throw. Off the roll out right from the left-hander.
First and 10 from the Scouts' 17-yard line.
From the 17-yard line of Lake Forest. Triple receivers to the left once again. Kemp, the motion man. Hill handing off. Turner, huge hole again. Turner to the goal line, to the end zone for a 17-yard touchdown run.
I don't think he was touched on that play, Dan. Some good blocking by the right side of that Warhawks offensive line. Opened up a big hole, and when Turner gets the ball and a head of steam like that, there's no stopping him.
So Michael Turner with touchdown runs of 30 and 17 yards have quieted this homecoming crowd at Lake Forest.
You see that there? Nobody's touching Turner. Clear path to the end zone, uses that speed, and that's an easy one for Michael.
Michael Kemp, the hole, number 5, Stenell Jackson.
Off the Jackson hole, here's Kemp again. And he drills it.
Kick is good.
And with 1:34 left here in the first quarter, it's North Chicago 14. Lake Forest nothing. Back after this on the Star Channel. The early book on Michael Turner, 4 yards, 4 carries, 69 yards, 2 touchdowns. Wilton Hill, 2 of 4 passing for 51 yards. Here's Kemp. And out of bounds at the 25, they'll throw the flag.
Doesn't take that Warhawk offense much time to get the ball in the end zone when they're clicking on all cylinders like they are today, Dan. They're moving the football on the ground, moving it on the air, and it's going to be a tough assignment for the Lake Forest defense to keep their team in the ball game.
Warhawks are exciting. More explosive than I can remember.
I think you got to go back to that Johnny Johnson team when he was able to throw the ball, and I remember running back Cyrus Johnson, good running back for them, and of course Johnny went on to have a great career at the University of Illinois. And
well, a lot of the credit goes, of course, to the team and their dedication, but Michael Dura's done a great job with this club. Only his second year, 1-8 last year. You felt something when they knocked off Warren in that season finale, and they came out of the blocks strong this year, and they've kept it churning.
I think the credit too, he was talking about, North Chicago's always able to turn out decent position players, different really good skill players, and this year he's got some linemen too. He says some of his best football players are on the offensive defensive line. And you got to have that in North Suburban with some of the big schools the Warhawks play.
Kemp's boot headed for Trace. David at the 24. Far side return. Built it at the 26-yard line. Taken down by Pierre Myers.
I think, as we talked about before, a lot of that is confidence now. The Warhawks are a confident football team, and they stumbled against Antioch, but they came right back the next week and got a big win at Mundelein, who was a approved football team, and you can see it out there right now. They're a confident football team.
A lot of football left. Minute 30 left here, first quarter. Towson with a good hole to the 41. Wilton Hill, the defender.
The ball carrier for the Scouts. Tripped up by number 3, Wilton Hill for the Warhawks.
North Chicago's been getting some decent runs on first down, getting that 1st and 5 and making it 2nd and 5, 2nd and 6, but eventually the Warhawks have been able to get good defensive penetration and stop that run.
Polowitz, the right tight end, as Trace goes wide left. Burke, Kutu, Towson in the backfield on second down. We're under a minute here in the first quarter. It's Kutu, huge hole. Matt Kutu. All the way to the 15-yard line, chased out by Chris Waldhaus.
Some of that deceptive moves by the quarterback in the offensive backfield. Some good blocking up front, and he had a big gain right down the right side of that line.
Matt Kutu on the 43-yard run from scrimmage for the
23 yards for Kutu.
Just a little trap play. Good blocking. Nobody was able to touch him until North Chicago defender finally ran him out of bounds after a big gain. Warhawks are going to take a timeout here, Dan. It looks like to go over to Coach Dura and talk about the defense. They've been playing pretty well so far in the game. Only the second first down for the Scouts in the first quarter, but that was a big one.
Let's talk a little bit about the Warhawk season thus far. They came out against Mundelein Carmel and won that game 32-9. Payback for the previous season where Carmel really smoked them. I think the score was somewhere in the 50s, the offensive output from Carmel.
Yeah, it was 50-0 in the first half, and I think the North Chicago kids remember that. Something like that doesn't go away from you when that running clock's already going in the first quarter after a 40-point lead, and they wanted a little bit of payback in Mundelein. They got it.
And they beat a pretty good Johnsburg team who is now 3-0. Johnsburg lost that one 30-23. North Chicago lost their first game of the season to Antioch, their NSC opener 28-2, but bounced back against Mundelein 26-22. They're up 14-0 against Lake Forest, but the Scouts, a very prideful team, a very talented team on the march. First down from the 19-yard line. Off the pitch, here's Burke going nowhere. He ran the short side on the option, and Wilton Hill was there to make the stop.
Wilton Hill showing some of his speed, did a good job. Didn't go after the quarterback. His man was that running back, and he stayed right with him and dropped him from about a 2-yard loss back to the 20-yard line.
Loss of 2, mark it 2nd and 12 from the Warhawks, 20-yard line.
Second down and 12. David Trace split to the left. Picaro to throw, wide open, Polowitz, touchdown! Matt Polowitz from 18 yards out. He was wide open in the previous series, and they never hooked up.
I'm sure the coaching staff up here in the box of Lake Forest noticed that too, Dan, and waited a little while to go back to that play, but there's a defensive mistake there. Somebody was supposed to pick up the tight end. Didn't happen, wide open, and only thing he had to do was catch the football, and he's got a touchdown.
Set to attempt the extra point for the Scouts. Number 44, Steve Powell.
Steve Powell, they had the extra point off the Picaro hold, and it's blocked. So the score with 33 seconds left in the first quarter remains
Powell's kick is
North Chicago 14, Lake Forest 6. Well, a quick comeback for the Scouts, and a great pitch and catch, Picaro to Polowitz.
A little early in the game to say that was a must-score drive for Lake Forest, but it almost was, the way North Chicago's been moving the football in their first 2 possessions. There's 3 possessions of the game, and that was a big touchdown to answer that North Chicago score for Lake Forest.
Well, this is a game we try to catch annually on the Star Channel because for whatever reason, these 2 teams really play each other well. We've had some great games over the season on this field and on the Warhawk field. A couple of Michael Turner touchdowns, and the Scouts answer with Polowitz, the tight end, with a nice grab.
Looking at Coach Durrell over on the sideline, he's not happy there with his defense. They know somebody made a mistake there. Somebody, one of the linebackers, one of the defensive backs, whose assignment was to watch the tight end, was caught coming up, chasing the run, and
Jeremiah Scott and number 7.
Lake Forest made him pay on that play.
Set to kick for the Scouts, number 44, Steve
See if Lake Forest is going to kick the ball deep on this kickoff. Most teams try to keep it away from the North Chicago Speedsters back to receive the kick, and usually like to squib it or maybe even kick it in the corner. Let's see if Powell decides to kick it all the way back.
Chauncey Edmonds, Jeremiah Scott deep.
Whoop, there it is.
This is going to be Lake Forest football. Ivan Thomas. Boy, when was the last time you saw a kick carry him off a defender 10 yards away and come back to the offense on a kickoff?
That was not an onside kick, Dan. He was just trying to squib it.
Just tried to drill it, yeah.
And it hit. I couldn't see which one of the big linemen North Chicago had to block on the front line there. He just kicked it hard, trying to squib it, and it bounced right off a helmet or a shoulder pad and bounced right back to the...
And I think the discussion here is I don't think they're able to advance that. I think it's at the point of...
they call it a muff, or I don't know what they call it, but you're right. They're going to give it back to the 46-yard line.
25 seconds on the first quarter clock. The Scouts have the ball back. One of the oddest plays you'll ever see, anywhere. Big hole. Quickly closed up, but surging forward is Steve Powell for a gain of about 4. Terrell on the stop. They'll plant it right about midfield.
I think that'll be the last play of the first quarter. Exciting first quarter so far.
Oh, you bet. And that will do it. And after 1 quarter of play from Lake Forest, it's the Warhawks 14, the Scouts 6.
14-6.
Now, Second quarter about to get underway. It'll be 2nd down and 5 for the Lake Forest Scouts, who went down 14-0 in this homecoming ball game, but bounced back 20 yards. Picaro to Polowitz for their first touchdown of the game. The conversion was blocked, and the Scouts with the ball back after a strange kickoff play, looking to go on the march. Off the option, the first man through is Kutu. Matt for a gain of about 3. Wilton Hill there along with Mackins.
Tackled by number 42, Demetrius
Terrell.
Going to bring up a big 3rd down here for the Scouts, just inside the North Chicago territory in the 47, by the 3rd and 3.
Get to market 3rd and 3. From the Warhawks, 47-yard line.
Picaro, one-step drop, zings it, Trace, first down. Wait a minute. Okay, completion made at the 38-yard line, make it the 41-yard line for a first down.
Nice little slant play. See Picaro there showing his arm, a little slant play. Good, actually good defense by 21 Tremaine Nixon. He's right on his player, but it wasn't much he could do with the ball was thrown perfectly.
Great call, great execution. You're right, Nixon right there, but it's hard to defense that one.
So far, Picaro's 3 for 3 for 39 yards passing the football, and you don't really expect that from a Lake Forest quarterback.
Picaro, 6 foot, 170-pound junior, getting more familiar with every football game. Same play, this time they send Trace up, and he makes the grab at the 20-yard line. Wilton Hill covering. Another Scout first down. Picaro, 4 for 4 on the day.
18-yard gain, just lofted it up, letting Trace use his athletic ability. You can see a nice catch there. Again, good defense by the Scouts, just a great play by Trace.
Polowitz split wide left on first down, off in the tight end. And here's Picaro pitching, ball on the grass, and Towson comes up with it. And it's a good thing because Theodis Holmes was right there to pounce on him.
Once again, the Scouts showing the problems, trying to run that option, trying to get the ball to the outside with North Chicago speed. That's a tough thing to do. Seeing the replay here. Picaro trying to run that option, trying to pitch it outside, but he's under pressure and makes a bad pitch, and the running back's under pressure.
2nd down, 14 after the errant pitch. Picaro going to keep this football, going to be dumped. 57, Tristan McCarthy. He was looking for Polowitz again, but McCarthy there to close the gap.
That time Polowitz had 2 North Chicago defenders go with him that time. They weren't going to let him get open again like he did on the touchdown catch.
3rd and 13 from the Warhawks, 25-yard line.
Call that a sack. There was a little gain on that play. Bring up another big 3rd down, 3rd and 14 for the Scouts.
Just inside the 25-yard line. David Trace wide right. Here's the halfback option. Trace, underthrown. Well, when you saw a new man in the Scout backfield, 85 Gregory Dimas, you thought something might be up.
I think that might have been a good idea that pass was underthrown because he was the receiver Trace was well covered by the North Chicago defenders, and that could have got picked off. It was a little closer to the receiver. We're in 4 down territory. It looks like the Scouts are going to go for it on 4th and about 13 yards.
Burke checks back in at the left half. Towson the right, Kutu to fullback. Off goes Trace to the right once again.
Tremaine Nixon over there on Trace, one of North Chicago's fastest players. Let's see if they go to him.
Picaro to the flat, Towson. Fumble. And let's see who's got it. It doesn't matter because the Warhawks will take over on downs.
Once again, number 42, middle linebacker Demetrius Terrell in on the play. We've called his name a lot. He's around the football a lot for North Chicago, and he's made a nice play, making sure that Townsend didn't get any farther downfield than he did.
Good footwork in the backfield by Picaro. Now it's up to Towson and his blockers, but there's a great play by Terrell.
Big stop for North Chicago's defense after that miscue on the kickoff.
9 minutes left first half. North Chicago 14, Lake Forest 6 from Lindenmeyer Field in Lake Forest. Dan Capasso, Darren Day, and the Star Channel crew. Glad you're with us on this great Saturday afternoon for football. Here's Turner. Michael Turner flags down. Flag down at the 20. Looked like Antoine Mackins clipped the defender. Antoine say, what, me?
All he could see was the back of the number of Lake Forest. That wasn't a very smart play by Mr. Mackins there. He's appealing to the official, but I think everybody in the stadium saw that one.
I'll tell you what, though, every time Turner gets his hands on the football, there's excitement. He makes things happen.
Penalty was at the 22. They'll mark it half the distance to the goal from there. We'll actually get the ball on about the 11-yard line within a second and very long. They have to go all the way to the 37-yard line for a first down. 2nd and 26. Excuse me, first down again at the 11-yard line.
Tremaine Nixon split wide near side. On 1st and 26. Here's Wilton Hill with plenty of room. Now the pitch to Kemp, who tiptoes the sidelines, and then he gets stuck. Big homecoming hit for Sean Scroggins. Nice, take that.
North Chicago did some hard hitting early in the game, and Lake Forest wanted to do a little payback there. Nice game by the Warhawks. They got back almost to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be a 2nd and 10. You can see Wilton Hill trying to direct some help blocking. They pitch it off to, and here comes Scroggins. He's going to make a hit, jarring that helmet.
2nd and 11 for the Warhawks, 26-yard line.
Warhawks get 15 of it back, 2nd down and 11. Off the reverse.
Good job, Brady.
Good job, Brady. Clegg stayed home.
Number 20,
The ball carrier was J.R. Smith, but the Scouts stayed home.
Going to be a loss of 1 on the play. Good defense by Lake Forest.
Loss of 2, mark it 3rd and
3rd and about 12 yards for a first down for the Warhawks. Puts a lot of pressure on the defense when you got the weapons that North Chicago has, but looks like Lake Forest defense is doing a better job than they did in the first quarter, controlling those weapons.
Sean Edmonds to the left, Tremaine Nixon to the right, Wilton Hill to throw. We've got flags.
Official time on the field.
Official timeout, stoppage in play. And it looks like the Scouts want a timeout, and they get it.
Timeout Lake Forest.
With the big 3rd down play, Tommy Myers wants to talk things over with his defensive unit. Gives us a chance to talk a little bit about what happened around the county last night. Boy, Zion Benton has really run into some tough times this year. They're a good football team. Their record won't show it. They fell to Stevenson 28-14 last night.
Yeah, that's Stevenson's got its game back on track after losing that big game to Naperville Central. And they're going to be tough to beat in the North Suburban Conference this year.
Speaking of tough to beat, Warren at home shutting down Mundelein.
I saw that game last week in Libertyville, and that was an amazing performance by the Blue Devils to beat up on the Wildcats like that. I don't think Libertyville's had a whipping like that in a long time.
I think that's the last thing Libertyville expected going into that one. They may have been a little too impressed by their record going in.
Libertyville beat some good teams in the New Trier and Marion Central, and Man, that was the best I've seen a Warren football team look in a long time. I guess they looked pretty good last night, so looks like the Blue Devils are for real.
It's interesting when you think of playoff possibilities and you think of a North Chicago team with playoff hopes very much alive. Although they run into, it's always a tough schedule in the North Suburban, but take a look at North Chicago's road the rest of the way. Stevenson, Warren, Zion, Libertyville.
I mean, you've got three teams that are probably going to be in the top in the conference. Libertyville, Stevenson, and Warren. And then, of course, anytime North Chicago and Zion get together in any sport, it's a big game for the Warhawks.
3rd down, 12. Wilton Hill for Kemp, can't hang on. James Kaufman defending.
I think even if they would have completed that pass, Dan, they were going to be short by about 4 or 5 yards for the first down. So North Chicago's going to have to punt the football away. Good defensive stand by the Scouts.
Tony Miller, David Trace dropping deep.
Run the Warhawks, 26-yard line.
Theodis Holmes will boot for the Warhawks.
Theodis Holmes set deep for the Scouts.
Now it's Ivan Thomas replacing the deep man, Tony Miller, who steps up now. A little confusion on the field right now.
I think I think the official set the football down in the wrong position. They're trying to get that straight.
So here's Holmes. Having trouble. Gets off a nice spiral kick.
Oh!
Sean Scroggins says don't hang around the football. He really hammered Wilton Hill. And I think we're going to see the hitting escalate from here on out, Darren.
I think Scroggins has picked up his intensity a couple of notches in this game.
Well, he took a shot at the quarterback, albeit a clean shot. I think the game is about to get more interesting.
That was an excellent play by North Chicago's punter, Theodis Holmes. That could have been disastrous for the Warhawks. He's able to get off a pretty good punt all the way down to the 27-yard line. But as you see, the nice punt under pressure after a bad snap. And here you're going to see Scoggins come in and just level.
Michael Dura having a word with his versatile two-way player. Now firing up his team as he exits.
I'm sure Coach Dura was saying a few comments to his defense, saying, let's pick up our hitting as well. Looks like Hill's going to be all right, though. He's walk off under his own power, and that's good to see, because that would have been a big blow to lose a talent like
27-yard line.
Wilton Hill.
David Trey split near side. 1st and 10, Lake Forest. They're down 14-6 with 7:46 left here first half. Kutu, gain of a couple. Wrestled down by Theodis Holmes and company.
Kutu, the ball carrier for the Scouts, tackled by number 11.
Gained about 3 yards, but North Chicago does a good job of shutting down that Lake Forest run. Lake Forest have had more success of going through the air as a junior quarterback. Dan Picaro was 5 for 5 for 58 yards.
On 2nd down and 7, Picaro. Busted play. Going to go down at the hands of Demetrius Terrell again. And Demetrius is having a great football game.
I couldn't tell on that play, Dan, if Picaro wanted to run the option or maybe go back to pass. And I think once he got in the backfield, he found out he was in trouble quick, and all he could do was eat the football. It's going to be a loss of 7 on the play.
3rd and 13 from the Scouts' 23-yard line.
They're down 15. They'll get it going from the Scouts' 23. Picaro, that short drop again, headed for Trace. Bump and run near side, interception. Clean interception, picked clean by Nixon. Tremaine Nixon, 10-5. Out of bounds near the goal line. Well defended by Nixon.
There was a little bumping on the play, and you might have saw a flag. I don't know which way the flag would have gone if one had been thrown, but that's been a battle out there all game between Trace and Nixon. And this time Nixon won the battle, stepped in front, made a nice catch at about the 41-yard line and was able to take it back.
Spotted just inside the 5 at the 4, where it'll be first and goal, North Chicago. Look at the return by Nixon as he tiptoes the far sideline. Finally shoved out.
Vaccaro finally shoved him out at about the 5-yard line.
Good hustle by the quarterback to get over and save the score. But North Chicago knocking Wilton Hill okay. He's back in at quarterback. Hill off the rollout. He's going to head to the corner of the end zone and score. Wilton Hill, 4 yards untouched.
Big play. North Chicago's defense comes up big. Offense sticks it in for them, and now they've got a 20-6 lead.
So Hill adds to the Michael Turner 2 scores. North Chicago again in the driver's seat with some momentum.
All the running backs go right. Hill rolls out to the left. I don't think he was going to throw that ball at all down. He was just going to take it in the end zone.
Set to attempt the extra point for North Chicago, number 9, Michael Kemp.
Michael Kemp to add the extra point. And this one will skew off to the left. No good. 6:14 left first half. 20-6. North Chicago.
North Chicago leads late first, 26.
Tremaine Nixon, great two-way player from North Chicago. He was the hero last week with the big TD reception against Mundelein in the game's closing minute. Comes up with a great defensive play. He and Trace have been going at it all afternoon long, and this time Nixon wins the battle, tips it up, grabs it, takes it 41 yards to the 4, where Wilton Hill, a play later, takes it in for the North Chicago score. The extra point was unsuccessful, and that's where we stand. 20-6 Warhawks. This will be Towson from his 5. Chris Towson can break it. Huge hole up the middle. Towson, midfield. Needed one more block. Taken down at the 44-yard line.
You get to see that one develop. There was a big hole on the middle of the football field. You could see it here in the replay. A couple of good blocks there, and looks like North Chicago's kickoff people were trying to worry about hitting somebody in the blocks, not worrying about the tackler, and Townsend had a big opening. You might have been better to take that one up the middle of the field there, Dan, too. You sort of broke to the outside, and that's where some of the North Chicago players were waiting.
Looks like Terrell finally caught up with him. Saving tackle, first down 10. We'll call it the 42. And the handoff goes to Towson. Big hole right side. He takes it to the 35-yard line. Well, he'll be about 3 yards shy of the first.
Looks like Michael Kemp just got a shoelace, too, or that could have been even a bigger gain for the Scouts.
There's no quit in this Lake Forest team. A lot of football left. 5:45 left first half. 20-6, North Chicago.
Townsend has had a couple of big games. He had 174 yards against Zion, but that was his biggest gain of the football game, 7 yards. He's only had 14 yards and 7 carries. Good job by North Chicago's defense controlling Townsend.
Here's the inside handoff going to Steve Powell for the first down. Deotis Holmes there, but they'll move the chains.
This is another big series and a big drive for Lake Forest to answer that. North Chicago scored us, keep themselves in this football game. With about 5 minutes to go in the first half, if they could punch something in, they're right back in the football game.
Powell remains in at the left halfback position. But it's Towson who gets the call, and he's greeted rudely at the line of scrimmage. 42, Demetrius Terrell popped him.
Tackled on the play by number 42, Demetrius Terrell.
Another good read by the North Chicago middle linebacker out there.
Second and 10.
See Townsend taking the handoff, but right when he gets the handoff, there's Mr. Terrell waiting for him.
No gain on the play. Second down and 10. Trace splitting to the near side where Nixon will pick him up with the man-to-man coverage. Picard to throw.
Ooh.
Sacked. Sacked from the blind side. Antoine Mackins. And he was looking for Trace in that Trace-Nixon matchup again, and you know what? Trace had a couple steps on him.
Yes, he did. But he didn't. That time, Picaro didn't have time to throw the football, Dan. You got to get offensive line's got to give him time. North Chicago realized that might have been a passing down, sent a couple of extra guys at Picaro, and I'm sure they're going to do it here on 3rd and long, 3rd and 15.
Needs help from that offensive line. Great play by Mackins. Picaro off the option. Here's the pitch. And this is Towson. Chris Towson at the 20. Ridden out of bounds at the 16. Stenell Jackson finally took him down, but it's a scout first down off the run.
Big play, 3rd and long. The scouts finally executed that option, got to the outside with Townsend. You see the replay here. North Chicago pursuing the quarterback. Nobody's on the running back, Townsend. He lowers his head, gets a couple extra yards, but he had already had the first down. That might be the biggest 3rd down of the game for North Chicago, or excuse me, for Lake Forest.
Towson took on Chauncey Edmonds first, shook him off. Finally brought down by Jackson. On first down, off the option.
Oh!
Here is a fumble recovery, and this is going to be 6 the other way. I see no flags, and I see Chris Waldhaus running uncontested for the touchdown.
I think Waldhaus got the pitch before the Lake Forest running back there did. Made a hit, picked up the football, and he was gone. There you see the replay. Look at Waldhaus staying with his man, watching the quarterback's eyes, and he was there. He says, "I'll take that pitch, thank you." Looks like he's going to go about 85 yards for the touchdown.
Actually, Burke got a hand on it, just kind of pooched it up in the air, and Waldhaus, as you said, Darren, he says, "Thanks a lot." Nobody near him.
I guess I don't even know if you could call that a fumble recovery. That's a pitch recovery.
Yes.
For a touchdown.
Number 5, Stenell Jackson.
Kemp off the Jackson hold. Sputters it through. And the Warhawks in command at 28-6. Back after this on Star Channel Sports.
Leads Lake Forest 27.
27-6, North Chicago with 3:18 left. 85 yards. Chris Waldhaus, we were debating at the timeout what to call. Is it really a fumble recovery? It'll go down in the books as a fumble recovery, but in fact, it never hit the ground. It hit Burke's hands, popped up in the air, and Waldhaus took it the rest of the way.
Two big defensive plays by North Chicago resulted in 2 touchdowns. The interception by Jermaine Nixon set up the 3rd touchdown for North Chicago, and of course that one there by Waldhaus, and Scouts are in a deep hole now.
Hustling up to make the return is Ivan Thomas. Thomas to the 35-yard line, ran into a wall of Scouts, spearheaded by 22 Marcel Wallace.
Tackled by number 20 for the Warhawks, J.R. Smith.
J.R. Smith over there on the tackle as well for North Chicago. Good special teams play.
What a big turnaround that was, Dan. Lake Forest looked like they were marching in. They had the ball down at the 13-yard line of North Chicago. Looked like they were going to get back into the football game, and one play can turn it around.
Particularly after that nice Towson run. Well, you can live and die by the option. Things not going well for Lake Forest on that possession. This is Towson fighting his way for about 3 yards.
Tristan McCarthy, 57, made a nice play there. Some of that good line work we had talked before for North Chicago on both sides of the football. Bring up a 2nd and about 8.
Get it to Margaret, 2nd and 8.
Townsend now 10 carries for 38 yards.
7-yard line.
But most of those yards were on that 22 run in the last series.
Greg Demas in at the wide receiver. He split out to the right. They keep it on the ground. Big hole for Kutu. Across the 40 to the 44.
Tackled by number 2, Chris Waldhaus.
Respotted on the 43. Waldhaus coming up with the hit.
Kutu's been Lake Forest's most effective runner. He's got 60 yards on 7 carries. just with that fullback dive and the Lake Forest wishbone.
Get forward, mark it third and
I think it's fun just watching Nixon out of those receivers for Lake Forest.
43-yard line.
He's not giving him a cushion. He's right up on him, saying, "Go ahead, if you want to beat me long, give it a shot."
He's a confident guy right now. Kutu for 2 yards,
Kutu, the ball carrier for
stacked
the
up
Scouts.
by Eric Gross.
Number 45, Eric Gross. That number
So it'll be 4th
57.
and a long 2.
I think at this point in the game, when you're already down by 21 points with about 2 minutes to go, I think if you're Lake Forest, you got to go for it right now, Dan.
44-yard line.
Tom Myers, same thinking. Picaro back in there. He's got to pick up a couple now. Kutu is the lone setback, joined belatedly now by Burke and Towson. They didn't get set.
No, I don't think they did. The flags are down. I don't think he got the first down either, so North Chicago might decline this penalty as Kutu gets the ball up the middle. But I think on a legal procedure like that, I think they have to take the penalty, Dan. But there was a mix-up there. I think some of the Lake Forest kids thought that they were going to punt the football away. Townsend wasn't even in the backfield. Looks like we're the mark. It'd be real close for first down. They're going to bring out the change right now to check to see, because if it isn't a first down, I'm sure North Chicago would decline the penalty and take the football. If it is a first down, they'll accept the penalty, and it's going to set up a 4th and 6 for Lake Forest.
Is the penalty.
Looks like it is going to be a first down by the nose of the football, but that means North Chicago's going to accept the penalty, Dan. Officials marking the ball at the 40-yard line, but the line of scrimmage is with the 44, so that's only going to be a 4-yard penalty, I think. Somebody's marking off a little too short there. They're marking the ball off from the from this point of the run. Now they're going to move the football back. The line of scrimmage was about the 44-yard line.
Illegal procedure on the Scouts.
There it is, Dan. Now moving it back to the 39.
you were on top of it there. I know you're getting nervous there.
I think Coach Doral over on North Chicago sidelines was with me. He was screaming over that soon.
For the Scouts, number 15, Tony Miller.
Tony Miller barely got it off. Edmonds will step up and watch the ball get down at the 30-yard line, hustling down for the Scouts, Andrew Levy.
That's a mistake Lake Forest can't have. They would have had a first down without that motion penalty. Now instead of 4th and 2, it would have to be 4th and 7, and they had to punt the football. They really had no choice there.
So the surprising Warhawks with 2 touchdowns from Michael Turner, 1 from Wilton Hill, in an 85-yard fumble recovery touchdown from Chris Waldhaus. They're in the driver's seat with a minute left before we go to halftime. Hill looking to get some more off the rollout. Wilton unloading, smacked from behind and incomplete. He took a good hit. Looked like Brady Clegg finally tracked them down and forced the throw.
I think that shows the confidence that Coach Doral has in North Chicago's offense at Wilton Hill as you see him going back under pressure, trying to find something. But even with a minute to go, they're looking to put more points on the scoreboard instead of going in at halftime say, hey, I'm happy with that 27-6 lead. They're looking for more, Dan.
Jeremiah Scott in at quarterback now, giving Wilton Hill a bit of a breather. Scott rolling, also a left-hander, to the middle of the field. Intercepted David Trace. Flags are down.
I think they were going to call a pass interference there on Chauncey Edmonds anyway, Dan, but Trace got the football.
Penalty flags on the field.
Well, accepting his first snap, Scott, also a southpaw. The call goes against the Warhawks.
Offensive pass interference on the Warhawks is declined by the Scouts.
Lake Forest now gets a chance with about 41 seconds to see if they can put some more points on this board, try to cut into this 21-point deficit.
First and 10.
Well, the Scouts say thanks for the opportunity. By the way, that was an offensive pass interference. Declined. So David Trace splits to the near side after the interception on the other side of the football, met there by Nixon. From the 49 on 1st and 10. Picaro for Trace. Incidental contact, no flag. Body sprawled out there along about the 28-yard line.
There's that matchup we've been talking about all game with Tremaine Nixon out there. That time it looked like maybe Nixon had his hands on Trace a little bit early. The crowd wanted a pass interference call, but there was no flags on the play.
Yeah, you gotta like the Lake Forest band. Much like the football players often have numbers on the or names on the back of their shirts, the band is identified by their instrument. They all perform at halftime, and we've got 30 seconds left before we get there. Picaro, fake draw, rolling, gonna go down. Met first by 57, Tristan McCarthy.
Number 57, Tristan McCarthy.
That's the 5th sack they've had of Picaro this game, the Warhawks have. He fakes the little play action, was going to try to maybe look the pass, and there was nothing there. 57. Then Terrell's also coming on the blitz. That drops the ball all the way back to the 42-yard line of
3rd and 21.
Lake Forest.
From the Scouts' 42-yard line.
3rd and 21. 3 wide receivers off to the right. Trace coming to the near side, and they won't get the play off. After a good half of football from Lake Forest, it's North Chicago 27, the host Scouts 6. North Chicago headed to the halftime locker room full of confidence and riding high on momentum. Even after handing the ball back to Lake Forest with 41 seconds left in the half via David Trace interception, they put the clamps on the Scout defense and do not allow them to move the football. So it's 27-6 here at halftime. Caught up with Coach Mike Dura of the North Chicago Warhawks before the game. In his second year, he's enjoying a good deal of success. It's carrying over to today's football game, but he was excited and very pleased with the way things have happened to date. Coach, I know that your success this season has been a surprise to some, but I don't think the North Chicago coaching staff nor the team is surprised with the nice performance you've put in thus far.
Well, we've been working since the end of last season, and we knew that we could be good if we just kept working and do the things that it takes to be a good football team, like getting in shape and getting in the weight room and those type of things. So we're pleasantly surprised. We didn't think we would be 3-1 at this point, but I'm pretty happy with the way we played.
Talk about some of the passing leagues and some of the things that North Chicago was active in to get them to this point.
Well, we participated in 3 passing leagues this summer. We also had a summer camp at our school, which gave some kids some opportunities to work on some of their skills. But the biggest thing was probably the weight room. North Chicago has been known for years for having fast people, but not many people on the line. And we got some kids in the weight room all summer long, and I say a nucleus of about 15. We want to increase that number. I think when we get to the point where we have about 25 to 30 kids in the weight room consistently in the summertime, we'll have a much better team.
Your left-handed quarterback, Wilton Hill, he pulled one out for you last week. He put one on the numbers, and that was an exciting game at Mundelein.
Yeah, it's the second time this season when Wilton has been able to come through at the end of the game for a touchdown. And, I don't like to have him that way, but we'll take it. We can get him, and he did a tremendous job, though. He stayed poised, and, some other kids were in his face from the opposing team. But he managed to get the ball off, and Tremaine Nixon did an excellent job going up, catching the football, and getting it in the end zone.
Michael Turner has really been a nice asset to your backfield. He can spring one at any time.
Yeah, you never know with Mike. I mean, we found that out last year. He can take a broken play and take it 80 yards. Some plays that are designed to just get us 2 or 3 yards, he'll break them for long touchdowns or a long run. So Mike's an excellent running back. He's also an excellent citizen. He's one that, we know he's going to be there day in and day out for practice, and he's setting an example for a lot of the younger kids that are watching, seeing what he does, watching his work ethic, and they want to be like Mike.
Now, Lake Forest is always a great matchup. What can we expect from today's matchup, and what do you perceive as the keys?
Well, I think the key, again, is going to be if we can discipline ourselves to stop that option. I've seen them play a couple of times this season, and that, once the option gets to rolling, it's difficult to stop. But by the same token, if one plays disciplined football, I think we have a chance. I think it's going to be. Last year we played tough. I think they went ahead with like 30 seconds left in the game last year, and we were leading 28-14 at halftime. So we usually play each other tough. We're real close. So I think it's a little rivalry going on here, but it's really hard to say. I think if we both play to our capabilities, it'll be a tight game. But I think North Chicago has to really focus on staying disciplined defensively and offensively. We've got to get back to where we were at the beginning of the year, and that's running the football.
Good luck today, Coach.
Thank you.
Excellent. Discipline and offense have been two strengths for North Chicago today, but the defense has also pitched in, Darren, and the Scouts are riding high right now and have to be pleased in that locker room, but you can't rest on the first half. We know that.
Like Coach Doral said, at halftime he was up 28-14 last year, and Lake Forest came back and a little bit bigger deficit this time, but I'm sure that Lake Forest is going to come out and still play hard in the second half and make this a game.
The Scouts will be full of fire on their homecoming. Stick around. This will be a good football game. 27-6 Warhawks at present.
Again, let's give a hand for the 1999.
Second half about to get started here at Lindenmeyer Field, Lake Forest High School. 27-6 our halftime score, and Darren, the total offense isn't all that much different.
No, it isn't. North Chicago's got 157 yards in total offense, but the Lake Forest is only 20 yards behind at 137 yards. But of course, those two big defensive plays by North Chicago, which one resulted in a touchdown, one set up another touchdown, is the difference in the game right now. Leading rusher for Lake Forest is fullback Matt Koto. He's got 61 yards on 8 carries. Chris Townsend sort of been bottled up. He's only got 38 yards on 10 carries. And for the Warhawks, their top rusher is senior Michael Turner, 69 yards on only 4 carries. Quarterback situation, Wilton Hill is 2 for 6 for 51 yards. And Lake Forest junior quarterback Dan Picaro was 5 for 7 with 58 yards. Of course, that one big interception. But on paper, the game is close, but on the scoreboard, it's not right now.
Jeremiah Scott, Chauncey Edmonds deep for North Chicago. You remember the Warhawks were up on Lake Forest by 2 touchdowns last year, and Lake Forest came back to win it. So we've got a half of football left to play. The kickoff taken by Terry Graham, who quickly swallows it up. And we'll see North Chicago go to work here. 1st and 10 from their own 32-yard line.
This has got to be a big defensive series for the Lake Forest Scouts, because if the Warhawks put some more points on the scoreboard, this game might be over with.
The Warhawks take over 1st and 10 from their own 31-yard line.
Wilton Hill back in at quarterback. Jeremiah Scott took 1 snap in the first half. Wilton Hill hands it off to the first man through, who's stacked up immediately. Ball carrier was Turner. Gain of 2 on the play, 2nd down and 8. A good sign for Lake Forest on 1st down.
They haven't been able to keep Turner from gaining a lot of yardage. That was one of the first times they stopped him at the line of scrimmage.
32-yard line.
2nd down from the 32-yard line. Hill. Short gain again.
I think there was a little bad communication there in that handoff. Turner almost fumbled the football. I heard somebody yell ball, but it looks like he got it back. Maybe a yard on that. It's going to bring up a third and 8.
Tackled by number 56, Brady Clegg. Yeah.
Brady Clegg's come up big a number of times this afternoon. Chauncey Edmonds to the near side. Kemp steps in the slot. Sean Edmonds to the left. Wilton Hill loses the football. Lake Forest says they have it, and they do. Big turnover. The Scouts capitalize.
I think 76, Edward Brandt fell on the football. You see the replay. Hill looks like he's just going to keep it on the option. Somebody gets a hand in there. I can't see who knocked the football away. It might have been Brady Clegg, 56, but 76 falls on the football, and that's the kind of big defensive stop that the Scouts needed to get back in this game.
Back out of the wishbone. Dan Picaro. Hands off Towson, picks up 3.
Number 14, Chris Towson on the carry for the Scouts.
Townsend's only been able to break one run today for 22 yards. Most of the other times he's been held to 5 or under. Got 2 yards of that play. It's going to be 2nd and 8.
For the Warhawks, 29-yard line.
Steve Powell in at the left halfback. Lake Forest trying to get some back. And the ball carrier is Powell, met immediately. Surges ahead for another couple of yards.
Demetrius Terrell on that tackle again. Terrell had a great first half in a lot of plays, making some good reads at that middle linebacker position, and that's a tough spot to be in the Lake Forest Wishbone offense.
They spotted on the 27-yard line. It'll be 3rd down, about 6. Trace to the near side, met there by Nixon. Dan Picaro is going to swallow it again. Mackins.
Picaro sacked on a play by number 75,
Antoine Mackins has had a great football game.
Good penetration by Mackins and the rest of that North Chicago defensive line. Picaro really can't even do anything with the football. He was looking to pitch the ball in the option, but tries to turn it up there, nothing doing.
28-yard line.
That is the 5th tackle for a loss on the Lake Forest quarterback this football game for North Chicago.
Mackins 5'10", 240. A real anchor of that defensive line. Big 4th down play on the way. From the 28. Here's Dan Picaro, and did they take too much time? Yes.
Against the Scouts.
Once again, a penalty on 4th down. We saw that in the first half, Dan. A motion penalty negated a 1st down for Lake Forest, and they had to punt the football. It looks like they're going to have to do the same thing again. Instead of a 4th and 7, it's about a 4th and 12, and they will punt the football.
Set the punt for the Scouts, number 15,
Tony Miller.
Deep for the Warhawks, number 7, Chauncey Edmonds.
Chauncey Edmonds deep. Miller headed for the corner. Dies about the 15 and takes a North Chicago bounce. And the Warhawks will take it on about the 16.
North Chicago dodged something there, Dan. They cough up the football on the fumble on their own 32-yard line, and the defense was able to hold Lake Forest, kept them out of the end zone, and kept that 21-point lead.
Well, another defensive test for the Scouts. Trying to pin them deep, get the ball back. 8:23 left, 3rd quarter, 27-6 in favor of North Chicago. Edmonds, Kemp, and J.R. Smith split near side. Smith, the motion man. And this is Turner. Brought down by Lake Forest's Andrew Levy.
The ball carrier for North Chicago.
Turner was trying to make something happen. His blockers were going one way. He decided to cut it back the other way, and he didn't have much help, and a nice defensive play by Lake Forest.
Loss of 2, 2nd and 12.
Loss of 2, marks it 2nd and 12 from the Warhawks, 15-yard line.
Nixon in with the play. Michael Turner to the lone setback. And Wilton Hill's going to be met square up by Levy again. Andrew Levy, 2 big plays.
That might have been a bad decision by Hill. He had Turner out on the wing. He could have pitched it on that option. He had 2 players. I think maybe he thought that he saw an opening there with a block by 64, but it wasn't there. He 43. Powell fought off the blockers. Or excuse me, Andrew Levy fought off the block and made the tackle on the quarterback.
From the Warhawks, 13-yard line.
Hey, how about delay here? How about delay now? Okay, how about delay?
3rd down, 12.
How about delay?
Hill to throw, off the rollout. In trouble now. Incomplete, intended at the 21-yard line for J.R. Smith.
Number 20, J.R. Smith.
Can't hang on, and it's 4th down, and North Chicago will have to punt the football.
From the Warhawks, 13-yard line.
See if Lake Forest decides to put a rush on. I see some of the coaches motioning to get up on the line of scrimmage. This might be a good time to go for a block. Try to get a quick 6 here. Last time North Chicago had to punt, there was a bad snap, and Theodis Holmes made a nice play to get the punt off. Let's see if Lake Forest sends everybody.
Theodis limping a bit. He's the punter. Appears to be banged up.
56, Brady Clay, also coming off. Looks like he got a little bit of a stinger on his right arm. One of Lake Forest's best defensive players.
John Strauss steps in for the Scouts. David Trace back at the 45-yard line. This one's high and shallow. And it hits about the 34-yard line. Great chance for the Scouts to get some more points on the board here. 6:44 left in the 3rd. Nobody scored yet here in the 2nd half.
10 from the Warhawks, 34-yard line.
Lake Forest has had that good field position down. They're going to have to take advantage of it if they want to get back in this football game.
Dan Picaro steps up to the line, marches his team up quickly. Trey split left side. Kutu, Burke, and Townsend in the backfield. It's Burke for maybe a yard. Mackins in the midst of it all again.
Number 33, Mike Burke, the ball carrier for the Scouts. Tackled on the play by number 75.
Burke trying to find some running room. Not much there. Lot of good play on that defensive line by North Chicago.
2nd down, 9.
See if Lake Forest maybe tries to get the ball to Trace some way. Throwing the football, they had a lot of success doing that in the 1st half.
Picaro to throw. Quickly flips it off for Townsend, not there. Closest defender was Terrell.
Chris Townsend.
45, Eric Grossi had some pressure on the junior quarterback for Lake Forest and made him throw that ball maybe a little bit quicker than he wanted to, Dan.
So it'll be 3rd and 9. You know, we've talked about that Trace-Nixon matchup all afternoon long, and interestingly, on the flip side, it's Trace defending Nixon when the ball goes the other way. So these two guys have seen plenty of one another this afternoon. Big 3rd down play in 4-down territory for the Scouts. Picaro stepping up in the pocket. He's going to be sacked. He's going to be taken down by Chris Waldhouse.
Picaro sacked on the play by number 2, Chris Waldhouse.
Looks like he got back to the line of scrimmage, maybe lost a yard.
4th and 10.
Looking to throw. Not much time once again. 45, Grossi again, putting some heat on before Waldhouse makes the sack, and that is the 6th sack of the game for the Warhawks.
On 4th and 10. Picaro in trouble. Sack time once again, thrown to the ground by Terrell.
Everybody in the football stadium knew Lake Forest was going to throw the ball that time, and so did the Warhawks, and they brought Terrell in a blitz from his middle linebacker position, and Picaro had no chance, and North Chicago was going to take over. Here you see it again. Terrell's coming in untouched, having himself a quarterback sandwich.
Went for the swipe of that football. He drew that right hand up and struck down, but Dan Picaro did a nice job just tucking it away and taking his lumps.
Once again, North Chicago's defense did a good job. Stuck in deep in their own territory, they were able to keep Lake Forest out of the end zone.
Kemp the motion man. Here's Turner. Michael gets a block from Mackins. Lowers his head, and the play stopped at midfield.
Number 8, Michael Turner on the carry for the Warhawks.
Turner just won't go down, Dan. He buries his head, tries to get them extra yards. Looks like he stepped out of bounds here.
By number 3, Matt Hemet.
Just a little pitch out, trying to get Turner free on the outside. There's one tackler going now, 2 tacklers. He sees somebody in front of him.
Review your fix-it list.
More yards.
For the Warhawks.
He's got 74 yards rushing and 8 carries.
Second down from the 47-yard line. Here's Kemp. Shakes a tackler, now ducks outside. Kemp midfield with a stiff arm. Finally ridden down at the 40-yard line. And it was James Kaufman who took him down.
Looked like they might have had Kemp stop for a short gain, and he made a nice stutter step, got to the outside, and it's a first down.
Well, this is a play, Darren, that worked early on in the ballgame. I think it was the first play from scrimmage.
Little counter, sort of a reverse. Right there, he sheds a tackler. Decides to break it to the outside. It's a big gain.
Chris Miller with a jarring block to set him free. 1st and 10. Hill sends a man in motion. Hands off to Turner. Michael dancing to the outside. Now cutting back. Turner is exciting, taken down near the 30.
They got a
Lake
fumble.
Forest has the football. They stripped him.
Number 30, Sean Scroggins.
I thought Turner might have been down on the play, but there was no whistle, and it's unlike the professionals where they say ground can't cause a fumble. It looked like when Turner hit the ground, the ball came up. Try to see on the replay, it's on the far side. Turner just trying for extra yards. Nope, the ball is out there.
Scroggins jumps on it at the 30, and Lake Forest has the football again, trying to score for the first time this second half. It's 27-6, North Chicago. Dan Picaro back in, trying to make something happen for his Lake Forest Scouts. They go to Kutu for 3 to the 35.
Number 30, Matt Kutu on the carry for the Scouts. Tackled by number 75.
Kutro's had some success in the middle of that North Chicago defensive line, but that's not the way they're going to get points on the board in a hurry, and that clock's working against them now. All the way down to under 4 minutes left in the third quarter. Two fumbles by North Chicago in the third quarter, and the Scouts have yet to make them pay.
Second down, 6. Here's the pitch. Townsend behind good blocking. Out to the 40. And won't go down. Finally ridden out about the 42. Hanging on for dear life, the Otis Holmes.
Good second effort by Townsend there to pick up the first down. He wouldn't go down with the first tackle. Little pitch, trying to use his speed, get to the outside. He had some blockers ahead of him. Good block there. Missed tackle. Couple of more missed tackles. Just won't go down. That extra effort got him the first down at the 42-yard line.
Chauncey Edmonds also on the stop for North Chicago. 3:35 left third quarter. Scouts on the move. First down. This is Powell to midfield. Steve Powell with a strong run. He'll be about 2 yards short of the first down there after the 8-yard gain.
Tackled by number 2, Chris Waldhouse, and number 7, Chauncey Edmonds.
Waldhouse and Chauncey Edmonds on the tackle.
Little misdirection in the option there. Give it to the running back. Gets in the defensive backfield some big yards, and Lake Forest is picking up some big chunks of yardage on the ground.
On the ground they stay with Towson. Antoine Mackins there after a yard gain. So it'll be 3rd and short from just inside North Chicago territory.
You might see North Chicago's defense getting a little tired down. I've been on the football field a lot in the second quarter and a lot in the third quarter here.
A lot of two-way players. So fatigue could become a factor. 3rd and a yard. Picaro pitches Towson. Great blocking near side. First down, Lake Forest at the 45-yard line.
Towson, the ball carrier for the Scouts, cooked up by number 7, Chauncey Evans.
Instead of going into the middle with the fullback, trying to get that 1 yard on 3rd and 1, Lake Forest knew they were in 2-down territory. They're trying to get some bigger yardage, and Townsend almost breaks it. Shoesting tackle stopped him from gaining even more, but he got the first down.
Matt Kutu, one of the Lake Forest blockers, leading the way. Timeout on the field. Timeout awarded to North Chicago. And with that, we'll take a timeout. 2:11 left here, third quarter. Lake Forest on the march. North Chicago Warhawks back on the field, led by 75 Antoine Mackins, who's doing a real stellar job shoring up that defensive line for North Chicago. He, along with Demetrius Terrell. And actually, the entire defense has played well, but those two have really stood out as solid performers. 1st and 10, Lake Forest. Picaro to pitch to Powell. Strong run by Powell to the 40, gain of about 6.
Lake Forest is having a tough time trying to get the ball to the outside. That time they did for about a 4-yard gain on first down. We were just talking about Antoine Mackins. It looks like he's hurt there.
Gain of 5, but it's 2nd and 5.
He was pursuing on that pitch out. You could just see him hustling from the middle of the football field. He wasn't going to give up on the play. He went chasing the running back. And they're looking at his left knee, and that's not a good sign for North Chicago.
Well, he's up and walking, and it doesn't seem to be in too much pain.
You can see big 75. Look at him trying to get to the outside, grab that ball carrier. I think he maybe just banged his knee on the turf.
Well, he'll take a sideline rest. Lake Forest looking to keep the momentum going. They're down by 21 points here as we look to close out the third quarter. Kutu pulled backwards by the gang tackling Warhawks. Miguel Otero.
Kutu, the ball carrier for the Scouts, tackled by number 67, Miguel Otero.
5'9", 240-pound junior Otero taking Macklin's spot, making a nice play in his first defensive play.
Third down 4 from the 40. Good push from Towson. He's got the first down. Good Lake Forest blocking along the left side. Powell and the tight end Polowitz.
Townsend hasn't found much running room in this game, but found something in the middle of the field there. Good blocking by Lake Forest up front. Keeps this drive alive to the first down.
From the 33-yard line of North Chicago. Powell, big hole up the middle. Dragging Theodis Holmes. 10-yard pop, they'll move the chains.
Not to take anything from Otero in the middle of that line, but they're going right at the middle now without Mackins in there, Dan. Big Antoine's back on the field now.
From the Warhawks, 22-yard line.
He says he wants to stop that run, get me back in that football game.
From the Warhawk 22.
There he is.
Picaro in all kinds of trouble. Ill-advised throw. And Powell will fall on it.
Are they calling that a lateral, or are they calling that an incomplete pass?
I think that was a live football.
Referee is marking it as a lateral, but now they're conferring. I think they're going to call it a forward pass. It was. I was watching Matkins on that play. They faked to the running back, the fullback, and he buried the fullback. It's a good thing they didn't give the football to him.
Well, as they sort out that call, we will go to the end. We will go to the quarter break with the score 27-6, North Chicago. About ready to get the fourth quarter underway. Officials still determining what type of ball placement we'll have here, and I believe they ruled that a live football, Darren, as opposed to what we thought was a forward pass.
Tommy Myers on the field screaming. He didn't like that call. It's about a 13-yard loss. 7th time they've been sacked now.
Townsend. Good run to start the fourth quarter. Belted by Waldhouse. Stenell Jackson over to provide some pop.
70 yards rushing now for Townsend on 16 carries. Trying to get to the outside. You can see Townsend there. Picks up about 6 yards on the play. Still going to bring up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 16.
Picaro for Trace, leaving it up there. He's got it. David Trace. Knocked out of bounds by Nixon at the 11. First down, Lake Forest.
Big 3rd down pass there. We've seen that matchup all game long, and this time Trace wins. Just lost one up there. Trace has got the position, sees the football.
Market 1st and 10 from the Warhawks, 11-yard line.
Gets knocked out of bounds, but not after a 1st down.
From the 11-yard line, 1st and 10. 11:20 left in the football game. Scouts need to get on the board in a hurry. Neither team scored in the 3rd quarter. Kutu.
Fumble. It looks like North Chicago might have it, and they do. Wilton Hill comes up with the football.
So the Warhawks make the Scouts cough it up. Let's see what happens here and see where the ball becomes free. We can pick it up.
Give the ball to the fullback, Kutu. Can't see who makes the hit, but Hill's already lying on the football by the time Kutu goes down.
Like Tristan McCarthy, 57, tried to wrap around from the rear and poke it free. I don't know if he freed it up, but he made that attempt. And the Warhawks have the football back. Very much in control of this football game.
Lake Forest needed to stick it in the end zone there, Dan. That's a big
did.
turnover, big turnover.
Looks like we've got a delay.
On the field. Delay game on the Warhawks.
North Chicago would like nothing better than a nice long drive on the ground, eat up some more of that clock, and time's going to be running out on Lake Forest.
Well, your Lake Forest, your defense has to come up with a big play here.
They've already caused 2 North Chicago fumbles in the 3rd quarter as we start the 4th there, and haven't been able to convert those turnovers into points.
Hill handing off. No gain on the play.
That's exactly where Lake Forest wants Turner, in the middle of the field, not getting out to the outside where he can do some damage.
Turner in the ball carrier for the Warhawks.
Gained a yard on the play.
76 for the Scouts.
Not much else.
Ted Brent.
Bringing up a 2nd and long, 2nd and 12.
Gain of 1, mark it second and 13. For the Warhawks, 6
So you
yard
think
line.
North Chicago would not try to get too fancy here deep in their own territory.
Hill flipping, dangerous flip into the backfield, but here's Turner nonetheless, tiptoeing the far sideline.
As soon as I say that, Dan, they try a
Pitch into the end zone.
tough pitch almost back into the goal line, and
David Trace.
I guess when you got somebody like Michael Turner back there, that's a pretty safe play.
David Trace ran him out of bounds, setting up a 3rd and 5 from the 14-yard line.
Turner's up to 96 yards on 11 carries with that 9-yard gain. Big 3rd and 5 play, big one for Lake Forest if they could hold the Warhawks here.
Hill keeping. Should have the first down near the 19, and he does. Another pad popping hit by Scroggins. Guy loves to hit.
Run good for a first down.
Unfortunately for Lake Forest, that hit was after Hill had already picked up 7 yards in the first down as he crosses the 20-yard line. It's a big first down for North Chicago. Keep that defense off the field, keep the clock running, and it's down to 10 minutes, and doesn't look too good on homecoming afternoon for Lake Forest at this point.
Hill handing off Turner. Michael still on his feet. He's going to go. Michael Turner 50. It's a foot race now. And Michael Turner will win it. 81 yards, Michael Turner.
Number 8, Michael Turner on the 79-yard run from scrimmage.
Once Turner broke that containment early, he was gone, 79 yards. You can see just a little fullback dive, missed tackles. Turner makes teams do that. And once he got in the open field, he's coasting.
Tony Miller realized about the 10-yard line that was a race he would not be involved in. Kemp to add the extra point off the Stenell Jackson hold. And even off the carom, that one won't make it through the uprights. And the score remains with 9:43 left in the contest, 33-6 Warhawks.
33-6. Scouts number 3, David Trace.
Anytime Michael Turner gets his hands on the football, things happen.
26, Ivan Thomas.
He just steps out of the pack here, and he's gone. For 79 yards, and his rushing totals, Darren?
175 yards and only 12 carries. That was just a basic play, try to get some yardage, and as Dan said, when Turner gets the ball in the open field like that, anything can happen.
This is Ivan Thomas trying to shake things up for the Scouts. He drops the football.
Uh-oh.
And the Scouts are Chris Waldhaus is going to score again. We've got...
They're not going to let him score, Dan, on that. They're going to call that. They're going to call that down at the 35-yard line where he recovers the fumble.
Chris Waldhaus thought he might have his second touchdown of the game. Let's see what happens. All right, here's Ivan Thomas.
I thought that they couldn't return it on a muff or something like that, but he has possession of the football, Dan.
Not now, he don't. He fumbled it.
Stripped clean. There's Waldhaus on the spot.
I think that's a live ball. I'm surprised they didn't let him return it back for a touchdown. I thought the ruling is that when there's a muff or something, you can't advance the football. But Lake Forest running back had possession of football, didn't he?
Put the ball in play first.
Was jarred loose.
From the Scouts, 35-yard line.
Unless they called him down, but he wasn't down.
Not by any stretch.
Either way, it's going to be North Chicago football on the 35-yard line.
Thomas looked as though he was going to break it to the outside. There was room to the outside. But ball stripped from his hands, and there was Waldhaus. But the officials rule that for whatever reason he can't advance the football. I don't know what the ruling is, if he, whether or not they ruled he was down, which clearly wasn't the case.
Tommy Myers is out there. I don't know what he could be complaining about because I think the call went his way, unless he thought the runner was down. But I don't think that was the case either.
In any case, North Chicago with a 33-6 lead and the football has played one heck of a football game here at Lake Forest today. They've dominated. Wilton Hill will take the brunt of this hit. Andy Levy, we've called his name out a number of times this afternoon. Levy playing a solid game.
Got to give credit to that North Chicago defense. They caused a fumble as Lake Forest was about to score in their 11-yard line, and offense was able to come back and put it in the end zone. And twice in the first half, North Chicago's defense came up with big plays to contribute to scores. And that's the reason this is a rout right now, is because North Chicago's defense have stepped it up.
Gerald Ganowicza out over the football. He's the North Chicago center. Wilton Hill pitch. Turner. Michael with room. Good blocking. Flags are down. Turner will coast into the end zone, but I think this one is coming back.
I think they caught number 12, Trinell Robinson, for a block below the waist. He went down low on a block, and you can't do that down the field. And this one's going to come back. Here's the replay. I don't know if you can see 12. He's downfield a little bit. Right there. Maybe there wasn't 12. It looks like it might have been number 8. Kemp got with a clip. But either way, Turner's fourth touchdown is going to come back.
Look like Kemp. A little shaken up on the play. Let's see if he remains in the football game. With 8:30 left, North Chicago on top. The Scouts 33-6.
Back all the way down to the 49-yard line of Lake Forest. For a first down, North Chicago has to go to the 25, so they got a lot of yardage to make up here in the next couple downs.
Hill pitching Turner. Michael getting a good lead block, gets another one. Chauncey Edmonds laid a great block. Turner all the way down to the 20. Ridden out of bounds at the 18-yard line.
Well, that's a good way to get up the big chunks of yardage, is give the ball to Michael Turner, but that time he had some help with some good blocking.
Here's the pitch to Turner, and watch the blocks he gets.
Right there, big block by Edmonds, 64, leading the charge there too. Turner takes it all the way down to the 18-yard line. Pick up of 29 yards.
Chris Miller threw 2 key blocks. He threw one, kept churning, threw another.
204 yards now rushing for Michael Turner on 13 carries.
Not a bad little average there.
We get up the shoes off my feet. Let me add this one up for you.
Play stopped at the 15. Gain of 3.
Almost over 15 yards of carry for Turner.
Guy's electric. Here's the package. Strong, good foot speed, good student, good leader. You got to believe some college coaches are very impressed with the play of that young man.
He's taking a break right now. He deserves it.
Wilton Hill spinning, changing directions. He takes it down near the 10-yard line. Solid performance by Hill at quarterback. And remember, he goes both ways. Tutrakan on the stop. Hill nothing there, so he spins and surges to the 11.
He's got 17 yards rushing, 7 carries. You might think that this might be his last series to be quarterback and give him a break.
3rd down 4. And the pitch to Jeremiah Scott. Scott hurdling Scouts, and he will score. Jeremiah Scott from 11 yards out.
Scott on the 12-yard run from scrimmage.
Lake Forest was concerned there with Michael Turner in the middle. You can see the fake to Turner, drawing a lot of attention in the middle. Somebody on the quarterback, but nobody on the running back, Scott. He's wide open. Nice hurdle there. Breaks a couple tackles, goes into the end zone. All of these North Chicago runners, they don't go down with the first tackle.
Set to attempt the extra point for the Warhawks, number 9, Michael Kemp. To hold, number 5, Stanell Jackson.
Kemp off the Jackson hold. And it is good. And it is 40-6. North Chicago with 6:24 left. Back after this on Star Channel Sports.
40-6. Official time on the field.
See if we can pick up the injury to Michael Kemp here. He's the kicker. And there's the shot he took.
They had called roughing the kicker on one of the times the scouts came in hard, and boy, that one sure looked like it could have been flagged too.
The kick was good, and the score now 40-6 in favor of North Chicago.
Twice when Kemp's got roughed, he's made the PATs, and a couple of times when he hasn't gotten under pressure, he's missed them. So,
been some fierce hitting out here this afternoon.
Number 26, Ivan Thomas.
It's going to be Towson from his 9-yard line. Towson, ball is loose. Warhawks have it. Flag back at the 20.
Scout fumble on the play, recovered by North Chicago, number 22, Marcel Wallace.
that's the
Little scrap after the play, and flags fly again.
third fumble for the scouts in the fourth quarter. Both of them have resulted in touchdowns, and I think the little frustration is showing right now on Lake Forest side. This game's getting out of hand, and they got to hold on to the football.
Well, wrestling match for the ball well after it was awarded to North Chicago. Trouble is the guys in the pile, they don't know.
No.
They just gonna go for the ball until they hear otherwise.
Now they're going to call the personal foul against North Chicago after they awarded the football.
Personal foul on Chicago.
Where's Towson? He's going to lose the football right there. And it's no doubt Marcel Wallace is on it.
Nice hit by Pierre Myers, I think number 25, to cough up the football. Then a little bit of pushing and shoving, and still going to give the North Chicago the football on the 46-yard line.
46-yard line.
Little surprised to see Wilton Hill still a quarterback, but
Hill keeping the football. Wilton Hill all the way down to the 25 where he's flung out of bounds.
Hill on the keeper for the Warhawks. Knocked out of bounds by number 26 for the Scouts, Ivan Thomas.
nice.
Ivan Thomas took him down, Darren, but boy, Hill, good read, just keeps the football and keeps the legs moving.
He's got 40 yards rushing now down to the 23-yard line, but boy, you hate to see that if at the end of the play there, if he gets hurt, something happens. They got a big game with Stevenson next Saturday at home.
Thomas grabs the jersey and finally gets him out of bounds.
And now we do see it looks like a new quarterback in there. Number 5, Jackson.
Stanell Jackson out to the 25-yard line. So the third quarterback we've seen today. Jeremiah Scott took a snap in the first half. Scott looked impressive on that touchdown run.
74, Peter Kim.
I think that's a good move by Coach Doral. You don't want to get Wilton Hill, valuable two-way performer. They're going to need all the energy they can, all the rest they can need up for the Patriots next Saturday. That's going to be a great football game.
Turner also out. Here's the keeper. Stanell Jackson picks up 3 yards
Jackson on the keeper
to the
for
21.
Tackled by number 73, Van Heeman.
Now the Hawks looking just to grind out some yards, kill some clock. Heeman coming up with the tackle.
Hold on to that football. Some good hitting still going on by Lake Forest. They're not giving up. Just hold on to that football and
Get it to Buck 3rd and 6. We're on the Scouts' 22-yard line.
coming down to 5 minutes left in this football game.
Timeout, North Dakota.
Timeout, Warhawks. Time to take a look at the Star Channel schedule as we head down the backstretch of the season. Can you believe it? Next week we're live from Rice Field. Waukegan will try to get back on track when they take on Glenbrook South. And we'll be at Waukegan for 2 weeks in a row. We'll be back there on October 9th when Waukegan hosts Maine South. Then a good North Suburban Conference matchup on Saturday, October 16th when Warren takes on Antioch. Then we'll close out the regular season when Grant hosts Thornton. And Grant is having a good year, and last night knocking off Racine Lutheran by a score of 28-20. So Grant has improved to 4-1 on the season.
They got a couple of big ball games up with some old Northwest Suburban Conference teams. They got Round Lake next week and Wakanda. A couple of big games that they're going to need to do well in to make a run at the playoffs.
Always love going to Fox Lake. They played spirited football there at Grant. Mark Barzak always has them ready to play.
3rd and 6 from 22-5.
3rd and 6, and Jeremiah Scott steps back in at quarterback. Keeps the football, flags in the air. Scott to the outside. Scott still on his feet. Does the Curtis Enos dive into the end zone, and we'll wait on those flags. It's coming back.
Yeah, motion penalty. The fullback jumped a little bit. Scott's running all the way back to the coaching staff saying, hey, what about that touchdown? What about that touchdown?
Get back there.
And coach says, hey, you got to run another play.
I'll tell you what, Scott's enthusiasm rubs off. 5'10", 170-pound senior.
Scott on the option, takes it himself, breaks to the outside, and gets all the way down. But unfortunately, before we saw the replay there, the fullback jumped a little bit. Came towards the line of scrimmage. Nice dive. Give him a 10.
Oh, you have to.
Wait a minute. The Russian judges over there, 6.5.
Yeah, you have to acknowledge that dive.
Penalty marked at 3rd and 10 for the Scouts' 27-yard line.
3rd and 10 from the 27 of Lake Forest. Scott back in at quarterback.
I'll try the same play, Dan.
This time puts the brakes on because John Strauss is the traffic light.
Scott sacked on the play by number 73, Matt Heath. Loss of 3, market
4th and 12 here for North Chicago. I think they'll try to go for it, maybe just run something,
30-yard line.
see what happens. 4:22 left in the game. I think it'd be fine with the North Chicago coaching staff if they didn't score another touchdown in this game, since you have to play in Lake Forest almost every year. Though with the new alignment next year, they will be in separate conferences, so we'll have to see what kind of crossover matchups the schedule will bring.
Scott on the rollout. Running backwards, gets a block. Now turns it upfield. Scott to the middle. Jeremiah Scott.
He's going.
He will score. Touchdown, North Chicago.
Touchdown, North Chicago.
28-yard touchdown run for Scott.
Jeremiah Scott.
Excuse me, a 30-yard touchdown run for Scott.
Well, you're talking about the Warhawks just killing the clock. I mean, that's just a young man making things happen. Can't fault him for that.
He's getting a chance to play quarterback. Doesn't get much chance with Welton Hill in there.
Carrying that ball out dangerously in his left hand. Reversing fields now. Catches a block there, and right about now he knows he's gone. Actually slows up. Another 6 on the board for the Warhawks.
West Chicago calling a timeout, a little confusion, trying to get some new players in on the extra point, but it's 46-6, and after this PAT, they're going to start the clock up, Dan, as the margin is 40 points, and IHSA rule came into effect a couple years ago. When the margin gets 40 points, you have a running clock on the scoreboard.
Oh, it was North Chicago from the get-go. Michael Turner's first quarter touchdowns. Then the Scouts answered with the Hollowitz touchdown catch from Picaro. We thought we had a ball game at that point, but it's been all North Chicago.
A couple big defensive plays up after that. The interception. Returned, it got the ball down on the 5-yard line. It set up Wilton Hill's 5-yard run. And then, of course, Chris Waldheis taking that Lake Forest pitch. Actually, it was a fumble, but he took the pitch, got it in midair, and ran it back 85 yards. And 26-7, and I don't think the Scouts ever recovered after that.
On the ground, the Warhawks penetrate the end zone for the 2-point conversion. And with 3:48 left to play, North Chicago big over Lake Forest. Back after this on the Star Channel.
2-point conversion run by number 75.
North Carolina.
University, yeah.
Michael Dura. If you think he looks like a football player, you're right. He was a standout at North Carolina, and he brings that experience and that fire to his Warhawks. By the way, there was Antoine Mackins who took in the 2-point conversion, all 240 pounds worth.
Reminiscent of Fridge Perry in the backfield for the Bears.
Less about 150 pounds. So Kemp will tee it up. Ivan Thomas, the deep man for the Scouts. Joined back there by Gregory Dimas along with Brian Maloney. It's going to be Dimas at the 10-yard line. Great special teams play by the Warhawks. They're just having fun now. 56. And you know, I don't have the last name on this young man. Van. I know his first name is Van. I was to get the, he's just joined the roster and they didn't have a last name available. Big hit by Van.
Clock is running right now. It won't stop until the game's over with 3:10 to go.
Picaro still in at quarterback. Little pump fake. Now delivering. That's picked off. Terrell Demetrius. Knocked out of bounds at the 9-yard line by Chris Towson.
Intercepted by number 45, Eric Gross.
Second interception of a Picaro pass. Trying to make something happen here, and Terrell's sitting back there waiting for it. Doesn't buy the pump fake. 3 guys around the receiver.
If it wasn't Terrell, it would have been Jackson. Scannell was right there. North Chicago with yet another chance to score. And if you're Lake Forest, you just need to shake this one off. It's just one of those days that nothing went your way. And you have to certainly credit North Chicago for a spirited effort. They just kept coming. They played a good football game. And they've spoiled the second homecoming in 2 weeks. They took out Mundelein last week. Delay on North Chicago.
I think if you're North Chicago here, you might want to just take a knee next couple of plays. The clock's running. Technically, you could just take delays for the, don't even have to run a play. Clock's running even though on the penalty, so you don't even have to run anything.
Yeah, but if you're Stenell Jackson in that quarterback, you want to run a play. He does. Taken down at the 15. Clock continues to run. 1:24 left.
Number 5, Stenell Jackson, and the keeper for the Warhawks, tackled by number 73, Matt Heeman. Second and goal for the Scouts, 15-yard line.
The Scouts take on Libertyville next week.
That's always
not going to get any easier.
That's always a heated rivalry for the Lake Forest and Libertyville. And Libertyville had a big game today with Antioch to see if they can bounce back from that lost to Warren last week.
Second down. Give up the middle. Down to the 9-yard line.
Demetrius Terrell there carrying the football, getting the chance.
Number 42, Demetrius up the carry.
He did enough damage on defense, trying to do a little bit on offense as the clock was down to
3rd and goal.
30 seconds left in the game. Probably enough time for one more play.
This will do it. Jackson handing off. This one goes to Pierre Myers. And the time will run out, mercifully for Lake Forest. Spanked on their own homecoming by a score of 48-6.
North Chicago 48, Lake Forest 6. On behalf of the faculty, administration, and students, thank you for attending.
Lift the leg.